So about once every 2 weeks, I go to the Mercado in order to go grocery shopping. And this time I went around and around and couldn't find any parking because you have to park in these little tiny spaces behind people's houses, and it's usually 75 cents. But I thought I'd take you guys with me this time.
Welcome to Parque San Martin in Santa Tecla, El Salvador. First of all, because this took me a little while, is here they have departamentals, which are like states in the US. So this is Santa Tecla City. Here at Parque San Martin, we have the police academy. It's right over there on the side. And across the way, we have the Mercado. And that's what I'm going to show you today, is what the difference between shopping in a Central American country versus shopping in like a first world country. Life revolves around the Mercado. And in the Mercado, you can find everything. Across from San Martin Park this is called Casa de las Águilas, or in other words, the Eagle House. And they're actually restoring it. And this is kind of cool. In my other video, where the cities are going through and they're actually moving a lot of the street vendors out in order to restore some of the old buildings and the old architecture that used to be here. Because this used to have eagles all along the track. But the eagles are all gone. But as you can see, if you look underneath, it's going to be really pretty when they finish redoing it.
The Mercado is one square block all the way around, and as you walk up to it, you have lots of little sidewalk shops. And as you can tell, I left the volume up so you could hear the sounds and have more of the experience as if you were walking along beside me. There's always people yelling and calling for you. They call you, oh, come and see. And they say, all this for $1, all this for $1. And they say, come on in. And they ask, what do you need? Or what are you looking for? What can I get you? And they'll call you in, but it's not that they're necessarily talking to you personally. They just call that to everybody just to get attention. I thought, if this happened in the US, I'd probably go in and say, what's going on? Is there an emergency? What's going on? And they just look at me like, yeah, so buy my stuff.
Right outside the Mercado, they sell sandwiches, which are tortas from ham, cheese, chicken.
So this would be the version of a Salvadorian Subway sandwich shop. And they do actually have like brand name Subway down here, but they're a lot more expensive than the mom and pop places that these guys are. El Salvador totally redefines what you would say, eat fresh. Because almost everything that is made here it's always fresh. It's not a novelty. Something that's old just doesn't make sense why it's even being sold.
So that ends up being, what's like the 6-inch? Well, no, actually it's way more than that. Probably close to a foot long. So a foot long sub, that size, is $1.50. And then the other medium sized one, that was $6. And then these big guys, the party subs, are $10. $10. Eso no es ketchup. Eso es salsa roja. Ketchup. Eso es ketchup. Yeah, see? So we got ketchup, mustard, lettuce, y cheese. Queso. Yeah, sorry, cheese. Queso, and then, ¿qué más salsas tienen? What is that? Yeah. We're gonna go check out all the different arrangements they got. So for a dozen roses, it's $8. And for a half dozen, or the smaller ones, it's $6? It's $6. And then they make these really cool arrangements that you'll find almost all over Central America. Here, I'm going to show one to you. These are kind of typical arrangements. You'll find these at funerals, churches, all like that. Isn't it gorgeous? So that's the outside perimeter of the Mercado, and now we're going to go inside. Prepared food, and in the other section they have kind of like the raw material food, meat and vegetables and fruit. But down this side they have lots of it's just little counters you get to go and sit at and order a plate, or just arroz, or just a chicken, whatever you're in the mood for.
Something else to note is that when you're a gringo walking around Central America, prices typically jump 20 to 50% when they see you coming from what they charge a native. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it just is. But regardless of where you're born on this beautiful earth and what family you're born to, your life is your perfect curriculum, and you can make the best life that you possibly can as soon as you accept that.
And we're over to the raw materials part. So here on the sides is where they have the meat, kind of like the butchers, and then all in the middle is where they have the vegetables and the fruits and even spices. I mean, just about anything you get in a grocery store, you can find it here. So the other really fun thing is I found these cucumbers and I like them. So I say, how much for $1? So you say, ¿cuánto por $1? So this, it's not cilantro, it's not parsley, it's actually called perro. And it tastes, and so they take the leaves off, it tastes kind of like iron. It's sweeter than spinach, but not as distinct as cilantro. She's got more fun leafy greens. For example, this is spinach. I don't know if you recognize it, okay? These ones right here, these big leaves, these are called mora. Now don't type that in your Google Translate because it's gonna say that mora is blackberries. These are not blackberry leaves, okay? It's a problem with looking up something in Spanish, and it means a lot of different things depending upon the country that you go to. And then this little guy, you see these little leaves? This is chipalin. And so the mora and the chipalin, they typically will put in soups or inside of a pupusa, but they don't typically eat it in a salad. But spinach, it's all good. And the perro, it's all good. This guy is shredding a whole bunch of cabbage because here they make cortido. So in cortido is like a fermented cabbage that's mixed, that they put on almost everything. You put it on pupusas, you put it on just about anything. It's really healthy and it's really good. And you're gonna see things that you've never seen before. For example, I started on this and I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm like, is that just a fresca? Is that just juice? Ends up, it's actually vinegar. So then, of course, the next question is, what's up with the different colors? Is this like rice vinegar or what? So let's see if we can hunt down the owner.
So she says it's just a dye. So I guess then you can pick what color your curtido is.
So I really like her tomatoes, and you get $5 por $1. And usually, if you go around to a few people, the prices are pretty close. It's pretty close. I might probably could get like 7 for $1. Like this one has 7 for $1, but honestly, they're all tiny. So it usually is pretty even all throughout the Mercado. But just because these are mamas and papas that are trying to support their families, me personally, I like to spread it out and like buy one thing from kind of each stand that I like to go to. Just to make sure everybody brings home something. So now we found Seafood Alley, and this is what it looks like. Heck, what a cute face! ¿Se vende la cara completo así? Todo. Y son tihuacales. ¿Cómo? Tihuacales. ¿Tihuacales? Sí. ¿Y estos son qué? Cangrejos. Cangrejos, tihuacales. And here's a little surprise. I thought everything in here was dead. No, not necessarily true. We found crabs, and these ones are, there's 12 crabs here, and they are $5. And this is 12 crabs, and they're bigger, and they're $7. And I was looking at them, and all of a sudden I noticed they're actually moving. So they're still alive. You gotta kill them yourself. Now it is time for your weekly anatomy lesson. Here we go. Here is a pig and everything inside. First, you got a chicharron, which is like the meat and the fat that's on outside of the pig. And then we go over here. This little thing back there, that's a riñón, or in other words, a kidney. This is kind of cool if you look at it. This right there is the heart, and there's your lungs. So look, right there, somebody did a heart-lung transplant, and you didn't even know it. This is the liver. I don't know what it is in Spanish, so I'm not gonna go there. This is tres lenguas. These are 3 tongues from 3 little cerditos. And then, I don't know what this thing is. It's not the pancreas though. Maybe it's the liver. I guess, I'm guessing. This right here is the pancita, or the stomach. And then this big thing right here, I could not guess. I tried and tried and tried, and I'm like, I have no clue what the heck that thing is. This is actually a fritada. And what they do is they cut right down the middle of the pig's face, and it's one side of the pig's face. So there's an eyeball, there's an ear, there's the spout, or the nostril, the snout, that's what it's called. It has half of the snout. So that's the side of the pig's face. Over here, we've got the pig's skin, and then we've got the pig's feet, and then these are just, again, as I said before, you can sample anything. So these are samples of the different little things to see what you want to buy. Now, you can check that off for your science lesson for the week. And you can find cheese. You can find a lot of cheese. Like they get the whole block and they cut it up right here. And you're definitely not going to see that in the U.S. Here's this one. Okay, okay, cool. So this is crema fresca. And then this is quesillo, but this is the type of the cheese that they put inside of pupusas. It's a lot kind of it's more soft than like shredded cheese in the U.S. And it melts a whole lot faster. It's usually a lot more wet. Our cheese in the U.S. is really dry and really hard, and cheese in the rest of the world is not like that. It's a lot wetter and it's a lot softer, more spreadable. Another great purpose of the Mercado is you can safely taste test. You don't have to wait like in a Costco or a Sam's and you're like hoping for some little sample card. Nah. People here totally let you sample anything you want. As long as you make sure you buy something. You don't have to buy everything, but you do need to buy something. And now here on aisle 4, we have clothes and ropa, and you'll find like native Salvadorian outfits and clothes, and you also find lots of American imports and fancy stuff, everything under the sun, like that. And here down aisle 2 we have your shoes and a hair salon and a bar on the other side. And here's your pharmacy. And the cool thing about this place is it's not just here's the products. If you want them, they'll make the products for you so you can eat it right there. one of the things I really love about this place. It's kind of like a Winco or like a bulk fruits place in the States. You can get bulk herbs. You can usually get them for a lot cheaper than those tiny little packets or the tiny little bottles that you get in the supermarket. I mean, check out this stuff. This is one of my favorites. I like that. Over in the southwest corner, we have shoe repair and clothes repair. And any kind of shoe repair. They'll do it. Tennis shoes, Sunday shoes, boots. It all happens. So in the corner beside the shoe shops is they actually have a dress shop. So they will actually, you can come through and you can actually pick your lace and you can pick your material and actually make you a quinceañera dress, or like it's a formal prom dress that, and because they have this big celebration when you turn 15, and the 15-year-old girl gets to wear this big, beautiful dress for her quinceañera. So this whole package, it has the corona, it has the crown, it has gloves, it has everything. That's $200 for the purple one. But these ones in the back, their full package with the crown and the bouquet and everything else, those are about $150. ¿Es el cuarto tipo de vestido o tiene que ser una grande?
La gran mayoría. Ahí usted me trae el diseño y yo le digo si tenemos materiales para hacer. Se lo hago al diseño que se.
¿Hace vestidos de boda?
De 15 años, boda, para bautizos.
Bautismos también. Okay.
Lo que necesiten.
So heading back outside, this is where pretty much most of the fruits are. Inside, they've got lots of vegetables, but if you want fruit, this is the place to go. Okay.
¿Qué van a llevar hoy?
Here we go, trying to blend in with the locals, right? Like, I'm never gonna blend in, but still, I got all of this food for $3. Now, their smallest plate is about half of this food. It's a carne and some rice and a little bit of salad for $1.75. But since I kind of asked for 2 entrees, you could say, this was $3. And I got a chile relleno, and then I got a pollo guisado, and I don't know how to translate that. It might be like steamed chicken, but I know they didn't just steam it. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. But anyway, and you got a little bit of cucumber tomato salad, and then some white rice, and there's some of the potatoes goes with the pollo guisado. And then as always, with every meal in Central America, especially El Salvador, tortillas. Now, I want to show you something about these tortillas. They're very different from, say, Mexican tortillas. You notice they're really thick, they're really grueso. And whereas like a Mexican tortilla is like big, flat, really thin, these are El Salvador. And you'll pretty much only find them big and fat and thick like this in El Salvador. But the best thing is they're made from usually freshly ground corn. And you can totally tell the difference between a fresh ground corn tortilla versus something that's made from maseca or, corn flour, cornmeal. Oh, and remember how I was telling you about the repollo, about the cabbage and how they make curtido? So this is the curtido that they have. That it's fermented vegetables that they typically will put on their food for anything. It's kind of like in place of, in the US, how people put ketchup and ranch on everything. Here, people put curtido on everything, which is actually really, really helpful. Just saying. The chile relleno, totally worth it. It's really good. So this is what I mean. This is the plate for $1.75. Just because I asked for the extra chile relleno, my plate was $3. The real reason why you go to the Mercado is because I got all of these groceries and all these frutas and verduras for about $15, which in the US would probably be at least double, maybe triple that. Whenever you go for it, make sure shop local. That's why you're there. I'm Jenn. Travel more, live more, and be more. See you next time.